Employees of McDonald's, what secrets did you discover while working there?
The official deodorizing spray they gave us is the most pleasant thing I've ever smelled in my entire life. Even now, I wish I could smell it again.
This reminded me of auto class back in high school. After class we would all wash the grease from our hands, and the specific soap that they got had this very strong pleasant orange smell. I remember one time they switched to a different type of decreasing soap and everyone was annoyed because it didn't smell nearly as good, and surprise, we got the orange one back when the bottle ran out.
Drop any unopened chicken nugget sauce on the ground once. You've got yourself a sauce grenade.
For the one I worked at in high school, burgers are kept in a warming area for no more than 15 minutes, then thrown out and new ones are made. You get a free meal from anything except the salads. Meal is a sandwich, medium fries and a medium drink. At the end of the night all the cooked meat is thrown out. If you want you can use it to make burgers and take them home with you. Specific tools and grill section for cooking chicken versus beef to make sure they don't cross for those customers who don't eat beef. The Hindu co-workers were very vocal about this rule if you work the grill.
Regarding the free meal, I remember it was a free meal every 4 hours. Ultimately, you could have 2 free meals during an 8-hour shift.
I think that was store specific. We got 1 meal and technically 1 drink, but the manager said if we were thirsty just get something to drink. Just don't abuse it.
Dehydrated onions, you put them in a metal thing and just add water. The thing is they still taste great. But I was shocked and happy that I didn't have to go cut onions.
Those onions can be turned pink if you use hot water instead. Or at least the hot water at the store I was at.
Ah, that's why we were told to use cold water. Didn't know this.
The pickles are surprisingly aerodynamic. They stick to walls and, if you have the stones, manager's shirts pretty well.
Yeah, they fly amazing. Pretty sure me and my old crew cost that store about $1,000 the entire time we worked there just throwing them things. Lol.
Former employee here. I found out that, when making 5 gallons of sweet tea, an entire 4-pound bag of sugar goes in. Sandwiches with round egg use real, cracked eggs. Folded and scrambled come from packaged goods in the freezer or fridge. I also had a manager that insisted more people purchase filet-o-fish when it's raining out because they subconsciously associate the watery weather with fish. Anyway, he did some research by poring through sales of filet-o-fish for months and months and comparing it to weather data for each day. Turns out he found something like a 3% increase on rainy days and was very pleased with himself. Edit. Wow, I will answer some of your questions up here so people can see. The manager voiced his theory one day, and the crews all argued with him about it. This went on for a while. He was committed to proving us wrong, so he secretly pulled the sales numbers at work and did the rest on his own time, never breathing a word until he brought his printed report in to shut us all up. He did separate Fridays during Lent and compared those days to each other in anticipation of having holes poked in his research. We still did that anyway, of course. As pointless and imperfect as the research was, it was impressive to see his commitment to giving us the middle finger.
I absolutely love that guy's commitment.
He was fueled by the mockery. Screw you guys, it makes sense.
My manager used to be on my back all of the time for giving out too much sauce. He tried telling me the limit is 1 per meal.
Our store did 1 sauce for 4 and 6-piece nuggets, 2 for 10 and 3 for 20.
Worked there in high school. Found out that if you put the middle of a Mac bun in the fryer and then add soft serve and strawberry topping, it tastes just like a funnel cake. Custom creations were the best part of working there.
I learned that if I have time to lean, I have time to clean.
Got time to text, got time to Windex.
I worked at McDonald's when they first introduced sweet tea and remember that it was brewed in a large bucket mixing hot water with a full bag of granulated sugar. It makes me sick to think about, but I still sometimes crave that disgustingly sweet tasty garbage.
Somebody elsewhere in the thread mentioned it's 4 pounds per 5 gallons.
I worked there when I was in high school. Not a secret, but I hadn't known much about franchises before then. I hadn't realized that McDonald's could vary quite a bit in quality and professionalism based on who the owners were and what type of management, workplace they set up. I worked at a really good one, with good management, but some are poo.
I have 2 McDonald's near me, both relatively same distance. The one I usually go to is more crowded, but I feel that the food is better prepared and the drinks taste right. I've been to the other McDonald's before, not as crowded, but the nuggets tend to have a stale texture and the Coke has this weird bubble gum type aftertaste lol.
Depending on which one you work at, the parking lot is basically a meetup for DGs D dealers and, at least where I was in New Mexico, people to meet up and have sex in their cars. As long as they kept their business to the middle of the night and didn't cause any serious problems, we were told not to call the cops or make a fuss, mostly because they'd come in and buy food after their shenanigans. Soda and mini pies were really popular with heroin addicts. What I later found out is that management was actually told to let it slide by corporate, since everyone higher up was aware of how much money that night crowd brought in. I got to see many D deals. I'm convinced I saw at least one arms deal, but I of course have no way of verifying that.
Midnight shifts were draining but so much fun. The kitchen staff is cut by half, but the people who order are so funny.
Before I worked there, I always thought they used a grill. Turns it's more of a heated press machine.
Used to be a grill. Upgrades.
Didn't realize that until I worked there. Another thing is about the MC rib, I would never eat that again in my life. Gross how it's made and gross how it sits in a vat for half the day.
Man. Reading these I'm wondering why my McDonald's was so boring. We didn't spit on anything. The stuff that needed to be kept clean was kept clean. If it wasn't required it would be filthy. The ice cream machine worked fine. Food wasn't undercooked. On occasion it was overcooked. Employing high school kids, of course they are gonna make some mistakes, but nothing too bad.
My time wasn't bad. We kept it clean, and no one I know ever tampered with the food. But there was a lot of funny things that happened, so I have a lot of stories. Example, one day, we had 10 minutes to close. It was myself off at close, the grill closer, the service closer, and the manager. Grill closer had on a headset, as he was praying no one else came in as he was very low on a few things and didn't want to make more right before closing. This guy prided himself on having things done and being out the door within 10 minutes of closing. Bosses loved him because other closers took up to an hour, and that meant paying them for up to an hour. One thing to know, our headsets had two buttons. One talked to the other headset only, the other talked to the outside speaker. He had been playing a game where he was trying to make the service worker laugh while she was taking the orders. You probably see where this is going. So a driver pulls up to the speaker. He orders a 20-piece nugget. Closer is pissed, and pushed the talk to other headset button and goes, "Man, F that stupid effing order. F." Except, of course, he hit the wrong button. Needless to say, someone got a free 20-piece, and another free meal in the future, and grill members were banned from wearing headsets for a while after that.
The Big Mac is just a double cheeseburger with 1000 island dressing, lettuce and an extra piece of bread. And #X200B. If you order a double add lettuce and Big Mac sauce, you get the same thing with less bread and cheaper price.
Worked in one from 2000 to 2005. During this time, they changed the bacon. The new bacon isn't as good. During this time, they changed the shake mix. The new shake mix isn't as good. The shake machine works just fine, so long as someone remembers to fill it before it gets too empty and goes into automatic 90-minute self-clean mode. It also takes a very long time to start up, so if someone forgets, there's no shakes for 30 minutes. This was never a problem for me. Whenever I did opening shift, I'd kick off the coffee brewing for my team, then start up the shake machine for myself. The chocolate chip cookies and McGriddles taste amazing if you eat fresh out of the oven. Always made an extra half tray for myself. If you're ordering a meal, say the size first, large number 1 with a Coke. Everyone knows that ordering the meal is cheaper than getting that same sandwich, fries, and drink individually. But here's the secret. The POS has a button for the large number 1 and a different button for the medium number 1, then another menu for the drinks. So if you say, "I want a number 1 with a Coke," I can't hit any buttons until I know the sizes of the meal, the size of the fries, and the size of the drink.
The newer POS systems make your last point a bit easier, where you can click, make meal, and change the size there.
I started working at McD's when I was 15. The secret is that it's probably one of the cleanest restaurants in your city. The standardizations and routine practices leave little room for employees to think for themselves. It was a way cleaner restaurant than the $30–50 per person place I would work at later.
Exactly. I worked at McDonald's 10 years ago and eventually went to work at a high-end restaurant in a fancy part of my city. I'm still amazed at how clean my McDonald's was compared to the fancy restaurant.
Anyone who says they messed with food was lying, unless it's something boring like, we left patties in the warmers too long. One thing I was shocked by, this was pre-internet forums being widely used so it was just info from people working there, was that no burgers are flipped. You put your 10-to-1 patties or 4-to-1 patties on the grill and hit a couple buttons and a second grill comes down and both sides are cooked for you. I loved scooping a big tower of them off the grill to plop into the warming trays. Also I worked in one in the desert and sometimes our AC would crap out but only for the back. So you'd be sweating over the stupid grill and your co-workers would be hiding in the freezer.
I remember working the grill, it was a point of pride to get fast at it. Grab a frozen stack of patties in each hand from the freezer on the right of the grills. Smack both down on the grill once at an angle to loosen them all. Double fist drop 10 on the right half the grill. Hit the cook button with your knee while you move the left. Drop the last 10 on the grill. Knee the cook button but bring it a little higher to flip the tray holder open. Grab a fresh tray and slide that poo into the holder while turning around to grab a cloth. Start wiping down something because, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. 41 seconds later those 20 patties are done. Grab the bladed flipper and the magic plastic spatula that somehow doesn't melt. Slide and stack 10-0 to the flipper, not ever waiting for the grill lid to be fully lifted. Drop them into the tray while shifting left. Repeat with the remaining 10. Grab the tray and flip up the holder in one motion while turning away. Slide that MF into the heating cabinet. Walk the freezer to cool off and come back with a fry box as an excuse because they'll need it anyway as the front-end crew never refill their fries. It's been 15 years since I worked there and I could still do it with my eyes closed. McDonald's trains their kitchen staff to be as efficient as a damn assembly line.
If you want a good replacement Big Mac sauce, 3 big tablespoons of good quality mayo, about a single good tablespoon of ketchup, 2 teaspoons of gherkin relish, 1 tablespoon or so of pickle juice, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half to 1 teaspoon of turmeric. Mix till thoroughly combined, leave in the fridge to let the ingredients make friends with one another overnight. Edit. I looked it up, and apparently this is just my version of effing Thousand Island dressing.
Do you mean half a teaspoon of turmeric? I've been cooking a long time and that seems way off to me. It's just so overpowering. Not trying to be an asshole.
Oh man, thanks for the heads up. I edited it, thanks buddy.
There is a glitch with the McDonald's app. There is a deals section and it usually has a coupon for a free cookie or free apple pie with any order. Add it to your order and you get the free cookie. Then, the next time you order from the app, just reorder your last meal. You can add, subtract whatever you want but the free cookie will still be there. The glitch is that you can add another free cookie from the deals section, and now you have 2 free cookies. Evidently there is no cap to this. I now get 5 free cookies with each order. I stopped at 5 because I felt that any more than that would be overkill. Asterisk, it's a f-ed up mess of cogs and gear that still has some f-ed way of working, asterisk. Ex-worker of a McDonald's.
Greater than, it's a f-ed up mess of cogs and gear that still has some f-ed way of working. Employees of every company. It's easy to hold the view of an organization as super competent and well run when you don't have to deal with its poo 40 hours a week.
A couple of Mormon missionary guys came in one time and ordered their food, and also ordered French fries with no salt. So the fries had to be fried specially, with no salt. They told me it was their tactic to get hot fries.
I always thought it was hilarious how people would think they'd be so smart by ordering fries with no salt when you could literally just ask for fresh fries.
All drinks come in as a syrup and are carbonated on the spot, hence why it can taste flat sometimes. There used to be a way to get a discount code for every second that the timer was running on a coupon, but they patched that in 2017. The ice cream machine at my place usually broke down because people mixed up the milkshake bags with blue caps and the ice cream bags with red caps while filling the machine. Mismanagement is surprisingly common and corporate doesn't give a single poo as long as there is sufficient profit coming in.
Anyone claiming the employees do disgusting stuff with food is lying. The kitchens are not only open and completely visible to customers, but also heavily monitored by camera. If someone was messing with the food, you can bet they would be fired and escorted out before they even finished whatever deed they were committing. Look, it's fine to not like McDonald's. It's fine to think it's gross. It's fine if you just hate fast food, logical, even. But making things up to disgust people is not okay. Source: former McDonald's corporate employee, worked in both corporate and franchised locations. Standards and practices are normalized and enforced in both. If you do notice things like the people in this topic are claiming, report it to management or report the location to McDonald's customer service.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.